委員
Members, good morning. It's the appointed time. We have a quorum. I call to order the meeting of the subcommittee. Now, the subcommittee has already held 6 meetings, and we had extensive discussions on various topics, including the implementation progress of various talent admission schemes, the work of the Hong Kong Talent Engage, HKTE, education for children of migrant talents, as well as measures on employment and entrepreneurial support. And today we are to talk about measures to help new migrant talents understand the local lifestyle and culture. Members, are there any other topics you would like to propose to be discussed? None? All right. At the end of last year, we have the first batch of visas of the Top Talent Pass Scheme TTPS having to be renewed. In order to find out more about the difficulties faced by applicants when applying for renewal, the subcommittee is considering taking written submissions from the public. If members agree, the Secretariat will post a notice on the electrical website inviting written submissions from the public. The submissions will then be forwarded to the administration for consideration and give a consolidated response. I believe members have no objections. I think there is no need to hold further meetings of the subcommittee, and the subcommittee will prepare a report, and the draft of the report will be sent to members for reference and consideration. If members have no objections, that's what we'll do. All right. Let's move on to the first agenda item. There is a paper provided by the administration. I also remind members that if necessary, please declare any relevant interests before you speak. Welcome, representatives of the administration. We have in attendance today Mr. Ho Kai-ming, Undersecretary for Labor and Welfare, Mr. Anthony Lau, Director of Hong Kong Talent Engage, Mr. Wilson Kwong, Assistant Director of the Home Affairs Department, Mr. Michael Chow, Undersecretary for Security, and Ms. Eve Chung, Assistant Commissioner of Police Crime of the Hong Kong Police Force. I will now ask Mr. Ho Kai-ming, the Undersecretary for Labor and Welfare, to brief members on the paper. Thank you. We would like to brief members today on the government's measures to help new migrant talents understand the local lifestyle and culture. Since its establishment in end October 2023, the HKTE has been providing one-stop support services to help incoming talents adapt to the lifestyle and culture of Hong Kong. The HKTE's online platform, www.hkengage.gov.hk, provides comprehensive information. Talents can raise inquiries to the HKTE as well as make inquiries and requests for support services to over 80 designated working partners via the platform. When necessary, the Hong Kong TE will refer such inquiries and requests to the relevant bureaus and departments for follow-up. The HKTE has been actively boosting media coverage and extending the usage of social media platforms. It has set up official accounts on 6 high-reach social media platforms to post information on the lifestyle and culture of Hong Kong and share stories and living tips of admitted talents, thereby facilitating quick integration of incoming talents. The HKTE has hosted themed seminars and workshops covering a wide range of topics. In the seminars on living tips by working partners and admitted talents, representatives of the Hong Kong Police Force and the ICAC were also invited to elaborate on the trend of frauds in Hong Kong, common defrauding tricks, as well as introducing the clean and integrity culture in Hong Kong. The HKTE maintains close contact with incoming talents to follow up on their development and needs in Hong Kong. Many incoming talents wish to learn Cantonese and understand the local culture. Therefore, the HKTE, in collaboration with its working partners, organized Cantonese learning classes covering daily life, culture, and etiquette, common expressions, etc. in Hong Kong. They are conducted in small classes. The Cantonese classes enhance learner skills in Cantonese, as well as help them understand the local culture and customs, expediting their integration into local society. To strengthen incoming talents' connection with people from all walks of life, The Hong Kong TE launched the Talent Plus volunteer program in September 2024 to facilitate their exchange with local social groups. Working with various NGOs, working partners, and corporations, the HKTE provides incoming talents with various volunteer service opportunities and foster their understanding of and sense of belonging to the city. The Hong Kong TE also works with various bodies to promote various support services provided for incoming talents to help them settle in Hong Kong. In 2025, the Hong Kong TE will revamp its online platform, launch a new web interface, introducing a new chatbot function, etc., to provide more diverse and interactive information. We will also have the stepping up of promotion of social media platforms to have more talents go on these platforms to gather information. We will also promote anti-scam information to prevent incoming talents from falling for scams. We will also continue to share information about the support services provided by the Hong Kong TE. The Hong Kong TE will also continue to expand its network of working partners and organize at least 55 online and offline workshops, seminars, and job fairs, as well as social integration activities to provide talents with practical information and comprehensive support. The Hong Kong TE will also continue to promote the Talent Plus volunteer program and organize more volunteer activities. It will also reach out to tertiary institutions, business chambers, and various bodies to step up promotion of services. There are also other departments that have been helping migrant talents to understand better the local lifestyle and culture. The Home Affairs Department has been providing district-based integration program and the neighborhood mutual help program to help new arrivals integrate into the community. The police force have also implemented a series of anti-fraud measures for migrant talents. The details are set out in the paper. The Labor and Welfare Bureau will continue to work with various departments to provide support services and information to migrant talents. That's it for my presentation. I'm more than willing to take questions from members. Thank you. Anything to add from other representatives of the administration? If not, let me read out the order in which members are going to speak. Dr. Johnny Dr. An Yu, Mr. Lam Chun Sing, Mr. Dominic Lee, Mr. Chen Siu Hong, Mr. Yim Kong, the Deputy Chairman, Mr. Yin Kong, Mr. Benson Luke, and myself. Let me first declare I am the founding chairman of the Top Talent Services Association. Thank you, Dr. Johnny. Thank you. Today, we are to discuss measures to help those who have arrived in Hong Kong recently to understand the local lifestyle and culture. I appreciate that because in the past 2 years, we have many of those who have moved to Hong Kong who want to integrate into society, but they have faced difficulties. As the Undersecretary said, we have some black intermediaries. That is the problem. Many of those coming to Hong Kong need to make preparations in advance, say for study or work. They do not have adequate information. And if they apply for government services, some intermediaries said they can provide supporting services, but it's actually really simple work. It's just filling out of forms. Can we do more preparatory work in the sense that we should put in place more communication channels to tell them it's actually very simple work. They only have to fill out some forms. There's no need for these black intermediaries or unscrupulous intermediaries to provide services in any way. According to the paper, we have some anti-scam measures. We have recently some investment scams that would involve large amounts of scam money. And I think the fraudsters have taken advantage of the fact that there are differences in the customs in the mainland and Hong Kong. They actually think that there are loopholes in the mainland and there has to be some sort of regulation. That's why they fall for scams. But in Hong Kong, there's actually no such form of regulation, so to speak. We need to tell people that this is not the case. And often the scammed money would be remitted elsewhere. It has made it difficult for enforcement action to be taken. And for those who have been scammed, they would definitely think Hong Kong is not an ideal place to live, and that has given Hong Kong a bad reputation. What is the government's plans in tackling this? Thank you. All right. Before I ask representatives of the administration to answer, I would assign a 5-minute time limit, having regard to the number of members who wish to speak. Undersecretary, thank you. I would say this for migrant talents. They do not need intermediaries to apply for services. We, however, have various services provided by the HKTE, and there are links provided on the HKTE website linking to the relevant bureaus, departments. We have already provided the relevant tools in a way. As for the workshops that we held, we have already talked about some anti-scam information. We have also posted some videos of the speeches made at workshops or presentations made at workshops online for people to know more about the anti-scam information. Perhaps I'll ask the Undersecretary for Security to supplement my answers on this. Thank you. For the new arrivals and migrant talents, we have all along been adopting a multi-pronged approach in publicity about anti-scam information. We have actually started this campaign before they even come to Hong Kong. We have been working with various mainland authorities on scam prevention. When people apply for visas in the mainland, say student visas, we already provide through such authorities anti-scam information at the application stage. And as you may know, some media reports have quoted this. In some universities, some mainland students are required to fill out questionnaires before they can go inside libraries. And that's how we have been implementing various anti-scam initiatives. We do understand that there may sometimes be language barriers, and we will see what we can improve on if necessary. Thank you. Dr. Ammon Yu, thank you. I have first 2 questions for the Hong Kong TE. I want to ask, since September, how many people are participating in the Talent Plus volunteer program? And is there cross-departmental support? Does the HKTE have the contact information of all the incoming talents, say email addresses? Instead of relying passively on migrant talents to look up information online, can the Hong Kong TE be proactive and reach out to the talents to disseminate relevant information? If you can't do that, do you need the support of other departments for this? Second, I can see there are various measures of the Hong Kong TE and police force that would target migrant talents, but then there are no measures from the Home Affairs Department that would target migrant talents. Instead, they are only targeting new arrivals. How can you better target migrant talents? Thank you. So the member has asked some questions. I want to echo on a point made by the member. There are some one-way permit scheme measures, and these are the contents in the paper, but there are many migrant talents that the Home Affairs Department should cater to. Do you have relevant measures? Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks very much, Mr. An, for the question. Now, for the talent volunteer program, the numbers changes quite a bit. At the end of February, there have been 400 or so people registering with us. Now, we do have a database, but this is rather limited because of the privacy ordinance. When the talents arrive in Hong Kong, they need to give us the opt-in approval or consent, and then we can use their email address to get in touch with them. At the moment, there are 40,000 or so emails on the list, of whom some of them are linked to an intermediary, and they do not come in handy. So we have about 30,000 email addresses that are useful. Yes. HYAB? Thank you. Thanks very much, Mr. An, for the question. As we said, our positioning is a little bit different from the HKTE. They are looking at the long-term development of the talents, and they are assisting them in integration into the community. But for the HYAB, we are mostly dealing with those who are coming to Hong Kong for a family reunion. So our services are more general in nature. Like we do have the integration program to let the new arrivals know about the lifestyle in Hong Kong, the way of life, and we also build up the social network for them. And we have the ambassador scheme where we incorporate people of similar background to share with them the life experience that they have in Hong Kong. Now, for the top talents, the HKTE is precisely doing this, and they are providing a lot of information to them in terms of healthcare and education, and of a different category to those who are coming for a family reunion. So we are providing services in general terms. Mr. Han, I've got two follow-up questions, if I may. When the top talents are getting the approval, should they be incorporated into the database so that you will be able to reach out to them to help them with integration? I don't think I subscribe to the division of work. Now, the HYAB is providing the district-based services. The top talents are also part of the program. In this particular framework, would there be any services made available to the top talents? As opposed to the new arrivals, the HKTE will simply not be able to reach out to all of them in the 18 districts in Hong Kong. So I'm wondering whether the administration should revisit the division or the demarcation of work between the HKTE and HYAB. Now we have the 100,000 top talents, and the HKTE is composed of about 30 staff members. They simply cannot really cope. All right, database, any supplement? Indeed, the Immigration Department does have the questionnaires For the new arrivals and the top talents, we will encourage them to fill in the questionnaires, and we will be reminding the Immigration Department to encourage the arrivals to take part. Mr. Kwong, HAD. Yes, we do have the community district-based integration program, and we do have a lot of flexibility there. If there are districts where there is a concentration of top talents, like in central and western districts, they are welcome to provide more targeted services. We do have the flexibility, but as I said in answer to Mr. An, the positioning is a bit different because we're providing general services, but different districts can design schemes that are more targeted. Mr. Kwong, the HKTE does not have any community network. Unlike the HYAB, they can serve the community. They can reach out to the grassroots people. And I hope that the HAD will take on board Mr. An's proposal. Now, we are talking about tens of thousands of new arrivals, and they're part of Hong Kong. There should be some support measures to cater for them. Mr. Lam Chun Sing, Chairman, thank you. Assisting the new arrivals to get integrated into the community is a good thing. Your association, Mr. Chairman, has been doing quite a lot to encourage them to donate blood and to do voluntary work in the community and so on. A fundamental question is, when they come to Hong Kong, would the job opportunities and the job market be falling short of the expectations? There are some top talents who are professionals, but in Hong Kong they don't have any room to unleash their potential. So when they renew their stay, they would just be holding down any job, and they're not really putting their talents to good use. And maybe they would be misled by some advertisements, and they thought that they would be able to put their children in prestigious schools, and it doesn't pan out as expected, and they feel really bad about it. So do we have any expectation management? How can we disseminate the right message, the true message? So for these top talents, for the aspiring applicants, like Type C, top talents, they may just graduated, they don't have a lot of experience. Maybe the HKTE should offer some talks or seminars on the life-wide planning and let them know what range of options are available to them job-wise, or they may wish to further their education. So at the time when they make the application, they should be given the right perspective so that they have the right expectation prior to coming to Hong Kong. That will facilitate the integration quite a lot. That's point number one. Second, scams. The fraudsters are adopting evolving modus operandi. I've heard some news that some new arrivals or some migrant students were bamboozled by people posing to be the landlords, and they were caught out of some money involving $13 million, and 150 people were involved. Now, for these kind of modus operandi, if you identify these, will there be any publicity? Will there be any work to be undertaken to tackle these problems and keep the top talents abreast of what's happening there? Mr. O, I say a few words first before I hand you over to the Security Bureau to answer Mr. Lam's question, we do reach out to the universities and let them know about the situation in Hong Kong. We've been to Sydney University and Melbourne University, Monash University, and let people know about the situation here in Hong Kong. We've also found some Hong Kong people in Australia to talk about it. We do have a lot of students in accountancy discipline, and they can share their personal experience, like as an accountant, how they perceive Hong Kong, what advantages there are in Hong Kong, why they would like to come to Hong Kong. We do have the sharing sessions. It would be far better than showing them the PowerPoint presentation. That there are 199 universities in the TTP scheme, and there are 30 odd staff members in the complement. We will be making our rounds, and we will tell them what they should expect when they come to Hong Kong. So by doing so, we hope that the aspiring applicants under the TTP scheme would be able to know more about the situation on the ground. Yes, about the renting scams. They get to know about the accommodation for rent in the mainland, and they got conned out of the money. So before they came to Hong Kong, we would disseminate the right message, the messages about frauds. And the police are conducting investigation in Hong Kong also in this regard. Any follow-up? Mr. Lee? Mr. Lee is not speaking through. Chairman, thank you. Well, scams are really happening quite a lot in Hong Kong. The amount of money involved is also huge, and the number of people involved is also huge. These new arrivals are pretty vulnerable. They don't know much about the systems in Hong Kong. There is also the cultural differences there. The secretary said that on Red Note, Xiaohongshu, there is an official page to disseminate the messages about fraudulent practices. And you may not be able to cover all the new arrivals. So other than this, would you be engaging the KOLs and some influencers to get the message across to the potential new arrivals? Second, in the paper, there is mention of seminars and workshops regarding integrity and scams. They're not terribly attractive, I don't think. So with these seminars and workshops, what is the attendance rate like in these activities? Would you be incorporating certain elements that would make it more attractive, like speed dating and so on? Would you be coming up with more attractive elements to make these kind of seminars more fun? Security Bureau, Publicity and Education, other than the official WeChat and Red Note, Xiaohongshu, we have more than 100 chat groups on WeChat. Let's say some tertiary institutions, they do have their own chat group, and the police units in the mainland would be liaising with them and push some information more relevant to them. Now, you mentioned the KOLs. We hope that the high reach KOLs would be interested in this. If you have any recommendation, we're all ears. Now, we do have the scam meter, and we are taking this to the mainland. When people are getting the visa, they would download the scam meter app. And I know that in the mainland, they are going to be coming up with something similar. So we would get the message across before they come to Hong Kong. Upon arrival in Hong Kong, they can join the chat groups, and we would be liaising with the chat groups. There are some migrant who are joining these groups as well.
Chair, I have a follow-up, please. Thank you. Undersecretary, we know that influencers are very important. They play a very important role. And in fact, we have officials and mascots giving such information, anti-scam information on videos, and we hope to have a higher hit rate. Let me see if Mr. Lau has anything to add. Please, Mr. Lau, Director of HKTE. We have engaged influencers to disseminate information on anti-scam as well as local culture. With the dissemination of information apart from through social media platforms, in the past year we have been working with universities, tertiary institutions. Through them, we have been able to disseminate relevant information so that the students can receive such information before they even come here. For workshops, we have been working with mainland and overseas universities, mainly mainland universities, to tell students that there are scams and that they should be careful of unscrupulous intermediaries so as to enhance awareness on scams. I believe we have covered various subjects before we push the relevant information. As for engaging influencers, it is a continuous process. If we have the right candidates, we will post videos and have them available on the websites. Thank you. Thank you. I think we have migrant talents speaking various languages other than Cantonese, so it is very important to make sure your content is available in English, Mandarin, and maybe other languages. Thank you. Mr. Chan Siu-hong, thank you. In another subcommittee's meeting yesterday, the Undersecretary for Labor and Welfare attended that meeting as well. We talked about to enhance competitiveness of Hong Kong, we need a higher population. We need to boost the fertility rate. We also need to make sure migrant talents can integrate into Hong Kong as well to truly make Hong Kong their home. For migrant talents to understand local lifestyle and culture, this is very important. They may have jobs, but if they think they can't fit in, they can't adjust, they may just want to leave. If they're in Hong Kong, they are Hong Kongers. We need to take care of their needs. But of course, the Hong Kong TE has limited resources. They don't have a lot of officers. As the contact point for talents, the 30-odd officers have been doing great work in providing support to migrant talents. Now we have to think about the next step. First, we need to do something about scam prevention. The Undersecretary for Security talked a lot about the different measures implemented in that area, and honestly, scams do not target only migrant talents but other people. It is important for us to disseminate the relevant information. The thing to consider is to have the right channels. I believe the Hong Kong TE representative said we have 40,000 odd talents who have opted in for such information or a newsletter maybe, but only 30,000 of them would actually get such information, not to mention actually take in such information. We need to have personalized content. If we rely only on people going to the websites to access the relevant information, that is not ideal. I don't think I can see in the paper that we are using I Am Smart at all. So if the migrant talents have obtained Hong Kong ID, maybe on that day that they're obtaining their Hong Kong ID, we can have them install I Am Smart and we can push messages relevant to them through the app. So, say if they want to know more about education or general living tips, they can opt in for such information. Or if they are interested in knowing more about how to apply for driver's licenses, they can get the relevant information by push notifications. I don't think you are doing any of that according to the paper. And if you're not doing that, you should do that now. As Dr. Ammon, you said, we need to make sure we can implement the work. We have only 30 odd officers in the Hong Kong TE. We need to perhaps make use of innovation and technology to set up a platform that will better help migrant talents. I also understand, according to the paper, in September 2024, the Hong Kong TE launched the Talent Plus volunteer program. I definitely appreciate this program. How can we make use of this program so that we can help talents integrate into society through the volunteering activities? I think we should definitely promote volunteerism. But, of course, as I said earlier, the Hong Kong TE had limited resources and limited manpower. I think you have been working with volunteer bodies on some of the volunteering activities, but can you provide more information on how you are providing support to the volunteering organizations? Are you providing access to your databases to them so that they can reach out to migrant talents, to encourage migrant talents to take part in volunteering activities? I also understand that the chairman is the founding chairman of the Top Talent Services Association that has held relevant activities. I think we can make sure we are leveraging on these resources to help migrant talents integrate into society. Thank you. Undersecretary for Labor and Welfare. As the director of the Hong Kong TE said, people would have to opt in for notifications from the Hong Kong TE, and then we can send them the relevant information via email. But we can, of course, work with the ITIB to see how we can better make use of I Am Smart. But we need to make sure the services on I Am Smart are useful to migrant talents. Say, if I need to access a rates notice, I would access the relevant function. But if I don't need to, I won't be accessing the relevant function. But let me say this, we will communicate with the RTIB to see if we can push more messages via I'm Smart. Excuse me, Chair. I need to follow up on this point. I heard what the Undersecretary for Labor and Welfare said. I feel very bad for the Secretary for Innovation, Technology and Industry, as well as the Commissioner for Digital Policy Office. I Am Smart has a wide reach. We have several million downloads and installations already. So I think for migrant talents, we should proactively encourage migrant talents to install I Am Smart. Then you wouldn't require people to opt in, because people can just opt in or opt out of notifications themselves on I Am Smart. But through I Am Smart, various departments can reach out to the migrant talents, and migrant talents, with the use of various data sets, will think the functions of I'm Smart quite useful, and push notifications can be made via I Am Smart instead of relying only on email addresses to reach out to migrant talents. I would say this. There are some concerns. Perhaps I will let the Undersecretary for Security supplement the answers of the Undersecretary for Labor and Welfare. I would say this. On I Am Smart, perhaps we can put more relevant information, but right now we are relying on the Scam Meter Plus app because it has already quite a database, and people can check right away whether some phone numbers or email addresses are associated with scams. And honestly, it's not just on scams. We have also been trying to make use of information, our apps and websites to prevent children exploitation, as well as, for example, we are holding the Coldplay concert tonight in Kai Tak, right? We have been releasing some tips, and we have been disseminating information on apps and websites, and as well as control points such as Lowell Control Point. We have been promoting the use of IM Smart so that people can access scam meters, but of course we'll review if there is any room for improvement. I think with different departments, we need to have a uniform app instead of relying on different apps developed by different departments. Who is going to answer Mr. Chan Siu-hong's question on the Talent Plus volunteer program? Director of Hong Kong TE. Thank you. For talents coming to Hong Kong, it is not easy for them to integrate into society, and how they can actually have more exchanges with the locals is important. At the end of last year, we launched the Talent Plus volunteer program. We have been working mostly with the volunteer service, and we have some 2 to 3 working partners, but mostly we're working with the Agency for Volunteer Service. If necessary, if we receive any assistance requests asking us to provide more volunteers, we have the organizations reach out to us, and I understand that there are already 300 odd who have applied to be volunteers for the national games. During Chinese New Year, we had some workshops that had migrant talents go to community centers to write the spring couplets with children from children hostels. I think it is a good way for migrant talents to integrate into society and become part of a family. Last week, actually on Sunday, we had some migrant talents selling flags. We will continue to hold similar activities for migrant talents to integrate into society. We will also continue to work with the Agency for Volunteer Service and other NGOs to provide services and hold activities. If migrant talents are interested in such activities, we will encourage them to take part through the Talent Plus volunteer program. All right, any follow-up questions? None? Ms. Doreen Kong. Thank you. Chair, I read today's paper on measures to help migrant talents to quickly understand the local lifestyle and culture. I would say this: we have been doing much, and I think the efforts are adequate. From what I can see, compared to other cities in the world that have been emitting talents. And let me remind you, we're not talking about general workers. We are talking about talents. If we do too much, I think it may have an adverse impact. Why? I think talents like a diverse culture in society. They don't want to have too much support from us, basically to baby them. They want to get a feel themselves. They may face difficulties, but I think there is some fun in adjusting. I'm not saying that they should have great difficulties, but I think with the work of Hong Kong Talent Engage, it would already be adequate. If we do too much, there may be negative marketing in the sense that people will think it is very difficult to integrate into Hong Kong. I think what we can do more is we should promote multiculturalism and a diverse culture. Apart from adjusting to Hong Kong promoting this, we should promote more that we are going to accommodate different cultures and multiculturalism. I think this is important. I think the Hong Kong Talent Engage can, apart from holding activities for mainland talents, there should be other activities for foreigners from outside China. Can we also hold Cantonese classes for those from outside China? We also have the Hong Kong TE having talent ambassadors. Again, I think we should not target only a mainland audience. We have people speaking different languages. I note that in Scotland, well, I actually refer to the practices of Singapore and Abu Dhabi and Australia as well. I have looked at how their practices can help talents integrate into their societies. They talked about promoting multiculturalism. They also have ambassadors. For example, in Scotland, on their website, there is some information that is that can be of reference. Apart from providing information on how to study in Scotland, there is other information that is well categorized. They will have ambassadors sharing their experiences. The content is not exactly polished. They talk about their real life problems they experience when living in those places. So all I'm trying to say is we need to promote multiculturalism, that we will accommodate their cultures. It's not just them learning the culture. This is just my suggestion. Thank you.
Yes, please. Mr. Anthony Lau, Director, Hong Kong Talent Engage. Yes, multiculturalism is important. In the past year, we've been visiting a lot of places. We have meeting a lot of chambers and the student alumni. We've also visited overseas to do the promotion, to do the road shows, to let people know that Hong Kong welcomes everybody, every talent to come. We are an inclusive place. Now on the social media, we also have different websites, YouTube, LinkedIn, not just only targeted at the mainland. We are redoubling our efforts. We are promoting Hong Kong all over the world and welcome talents here. Thank you. Any follow-up, Madam Kong? Mr. Tang Fei, Chairman, thank you. Quite a lot of information in the paper. There are 2 points there. Now we have a lot of information about the scams. In some cases, maybe they haven't got the information right. So other than the scam information, we should provide a wide variety of information to the talents. Now, if you try to apply for to sit for the DSE, there is no distinction between Hong Kong ID card holder or non-ID card holders. Only when you are applying under JPAS that there will be this distinction. When Hong Kong, rumors can spread pretty quickly, and I think other than the anti-scam scam prevention messages, that there should be some clarification on the misinformation. Education is important. In the mainland, there are a lot of intermediaries. In Hong Kong, we don't go through the intermediaries a lot or too much, other than buying a property. And I think there should be some gentle reminders to the aspiring arrivals. The other thing is we try to allure the talents that we're assisting them in integrating into the community. The Hong Kong Talent Engage is funded by taxpayers' money, and there is a limit to the extent to which they can do. If everything is for free and you don't need to expand or to spend the taxpayers' money, then I don't have an objection. But if you turn the Talent Engage into an association that is providing personal services, I do have reservation. Now, even for the one-way permit holders, the grassroots people, they feel unfair. And there are many migrants who came to Hong Kong many years ago. We didn't have the Talent Engage. Today, we seem to be spoon-feeding them with every last detail. And I think the Hong Kong Talent Engage has to do a lot to help people with their integration. But I think there should be, that there is a limit to how much they can do. I think for those migrants who have been here for an awful long time, and they would feel very strongly about it because we are spending taxpayers' money in the Talent Engage. Right, we have to clarify the misinformation on the web. Thanks very much, Mr. Tang. We see eye to eye with Mr. Tang. Indeed, like we said, on the website of the Hong Kong Talent Engage, and there is a lot of information available. And we have the I'm Smart app. We're not trying to provide tailor-made services, but for the top talents, we are contemplating measures to help them acclimatize to life in Hong Kong. Like Mr. Tang said, we are limited by manpower shortage. There are well over 100,000 new arrivals. It would be hard for us to provide tailor-made services. But for the top talents, we try to help them to get integrated into Hong Kong. We will be providing services along this line. What about clarification of the misinformation on the web? Any supplement? Since inception, over the past 10 months or so, we tried to open an account in Red Note as Xiaohongshu. We managed to do that, and we have the WeChat account and also the Red Note account, and that's the main platform whereby we will clarify the misinformation. And we provide people with more information, and we provide people with the hotline for them to call through with inquiries. We will be disseminating the information. The secretary has been really wonderful, and he has made a short clip to attract more people, to attract a bigger following on the Red Note. Thank you, Mr. Tang, for the comments. we will not only doing things after the event. We will get across the message proactively to help them make the decision, to help them guard against the negative eventualities. We're not dealing with situation on a case-by-case basis, where we don't have any case managers. We don't follow up on any particular cases. We're just addressing inquiries. If people have any queries, we are only delighted to answer them, but we will not be tracking and following up on any particular case. Thank you, Mr. Tang. It's my turn next. Got a couple of questions for the administration. First, we are helping the new migrant talents to adjust to a local lifestyle and culture. I've received a lot of comments from top talents that when contracts are signed, that there is no fixed term provision in the contracts. And they have the visa validity for 1 or 2 years or 2 or 3 years. And when they renew their contracts, the government would be looking at this shorter period. Let's say if their contract is only 2.5 months, the visa would be only for 2.5 months. How will the administration encourage the enterprises to provide longer-term contracts for the talents? Second, I've received some complaints or some comments that when they renew their visa, the enterprises will have to provide information. If the enterprises do not cooperate, what's going to happen to the top talents? How should they deal with this? Would there be any recourse for them? My third question is for the Security Bureau. There are many comments from members that the new the migrant talents are vulnerable to scams. There are dodgy intermediaries that are operating unscrupulously. Now, when you tackle these dodgy intermediaries, what have you done, and how many cases have you handled in which arrests have been made, and how successful have you been there? Thank you. Right about the contracts, this covers everybody in Hong Kong. Now, when a contract is designed, the enterprises would have their own requirements. I think both parties have the obligation to scrutinize the contracts. If the contract is for 5 years, then it would be 5 years. It would be valid until the end of the contract. It's just like the councillors, ward officers, they have their own contracts for their staff. And I think that the talents will have to liaise with the employers to see whether they will accept their proposal. Second, the enterprise will have to write in to prove that this talent is still in employment. Of course, the top talent will have to submit documents to apply for a visa, but the enterprises, all they need to do is to write in to prove that they're still in employment. And nothing can be easier, and I don't think that this is really a tall order for the employers. Yes, Mr. Shuk, about the renewal of the visa. Now, you said that some would get a shorter-term visa because of the short contract. Now, these are exceptional cases. Now, if somebody is serving an organization they would start the new contract ahead of time. Hardly do we have cases in which the visa would be short when they're serving a particular enterprise. Second, regarding scams, we're dealing with the talents, and we also have new arrivals in Hong Kong. Now, for the top talents, we have seen some financial scams or the scams involving the intermediaries, and the unscrupulous intermediaries do exist in Hong Kong. We have made some arrests because they've come to Hong Kong to get in touch with people. Most of these intermediaries are in the mainland, and we do work with the mainland counterpart, and we make available information to follow up, like the fake documents, the fake qualifications. We do handle this. We try to mount publicity to let them know that they don't necessarily have to go through the intermediaries, but indeed there are some people who are so used to doing things through intermediaries, and we would let them know that all they need to do is to do it on the line.
On this issue, I want to say to the LWB and Hong Kong TE, we have inadequate promotion of SMEs in Hong Kong. For SMEs in Hong Kong wanting to engage migrant talents, they are hesitant because they didn't know that the contract term would determine the period of stay of talents. So I think you should promote to SMEs that they should sign longer term contracts with migrant talents. Chair, I have to say something. For top talents, they are not applying for working visas. So there is no need for the employers to take part in the process. I believe employers implement certain contract terms for their reasons, or even not have any contract terms. I think the employees should probably raise the issue with employers, because for employers, these migrant talents are just citizens in Hong Kong. They do not need to do much, or at least they think do not need to do much on the part of them apart from providing a letter. I will definitely think about if there's any room for improvement in terms of promotion, however. Thank you. I think you can at least dispel any rumors to allay the concerns of SMEs in Hong Kong so that they can provide at least the same treatment to migrant talents as locals. I think often it is the lack or inadequate promotion that is the issue. Thank you, Ms. Carmen Khan. I am also a member of the Top Talent Services Association. I would like to declare that I have some observations of the efforts of the administration. I definitely appreciate the Security Bureau and the police force on efforts to prevent students from falling for scams. In fact, at a previous security panel meeting, they said they even plastered posters in toilets of universities and tertiary institutions for scam prevention. I'm not sure if this question has been asked before because I was at an other bills committees meetings, but I want to know if we have been working with mainland authorities to disseminate information on anti-scam measures, as well as some information for students to better understand the local lifestyle and culture. I did hear what they said about enforcement and intelligence exchange, but I want to know what the Security Bureau has been doing in terms of prevention. With the renewal of the visas for top talent pass scheme applicants, I want to ask the LWB or Hong Kong Talent Engage, what are the difficulties faced by the applicants? What tips would you give to the applicants, for example, relating to scams and whatnot? Thank you. All right, I'll first ask the Undersecretary for Security to answer the question. Thank you. For different people coming to Hong Kong through different channels, they will still need to apply for visas. So we have been working with various mainland authorities so that at the offices they would have clips on scams playing, and we also have some clips for the scam meter playing in these offices, and these should enhance awareness of those who are coming to Hong Kong. Thank you. Undersecretary for Labor and Welfare. Thank you. We held some seminars on renewal of visas for the Top Talent Pass scheme and various talent admission schemes. We have also posted information about the criteria. Of course, everything would be on a case-by-case basis, but we at least have some general information available on the website, and we believe it would be more clear if the case is being dealt with by the Immigration Department for people to actually ask the Immigration Department to see whether they fit the criteria. Thank you. Basically, you are asking the talents to do the work themselves, to reach out to the departments, right? I think you are more than willing to answer their questions, and I think you should send a clear message to them that there is no need to go through intermediaries. Director of Hong Kong Talent Engage. Yes. Thank you, Chair. This is very important in serving talents. They need to know that for them to come to Hong Kong, there is no need to engage the services of intermediaries. People only have to fill out some forms online, and if they have any questions about, say, submission of documents, they can just ask us. We have been doing much in communication. We held seminars, we arranged visits, we have information on websites, we have been talking to students, alumni, and we held various activities. We have all along been talking about this. Thank you. Is there a need to set up a dedicated hotline to deal with renewals so that you can provide more specific assistance? Well, we do have a hotline. We also have Immigration Department officers in our office. Talents can call for whatever reason to our office. So this is not a dedicated hotline. Can we have something like 18222, the anti-scam helpline, to have a dedicated hotline for renewals? Chair, we actually have a hotline, and people can contact Hong Kong Talent Engage via the hotline or email, and we have a performance pledge to respond to the queries within 48 hours. The Immigration Department can provide more complex answers because they are actually dealing with the cases. With Hong Kong Talent Engage's work, they are trying to provide more general information. Thank you. Undersecretary for Labor and Welfare, excuse me, I would like to echo on the point made by Ms. Common Con. Can you talk about what the email address and telephone are for Talent's reference? Can you say it now? Okay, Hong Kong Talent Engage. I'll let the director talk about the email address and the phone number. But before he talks about that, I'll let the Undersecretary for Security supplement my answers. Thank you. We have applications done online with the Immigration Department, and we would require applicants to log on themselves. So there's really no need to go through intermediaries. And if something is wrong the case, officers will contact the applicants directly, and things will be dealt with on a case-by-case basis. Director of Talent Engage. Inquire at ENQIRY at Hong Kong Engage HKENGAGE.gov.hk. That's the email address. What's the hotline? Well, I can perhaps provide information on this later. Oh, wait. Actually, I will provide that information later because I forgot. But the email address would be a first contact point for talents. We have 1,700 odd people watching the broadcast, many of them migrant talents. They are very concerned about how they can obtain more information and support if necessary for renewals, and they want to have information from official channels. So I am glad that Hong Kong Talent Engage said that they have a performance pledge to respond to inquiries and requests within 48 hours. If migrant talents have any questions, you may contact Hong Kong Talent Engage. As I said earlier, there are 1,700 odd people who are very concerned about renewals. If employers only have to provide that they are working or they have a certificate of resident status, that would be it. That would be great. But then apparently they have to provide information on, say, the number of employees, the profit of the companies. For some SMEs, they think it is very cumbersome to provide such information to the department. So is it the case that really we only need the document, or do we really need other information? Undersecretary for Security. As I said earlier, renewals are dealt with on a case-by-case basis, so we can't say in general how it would be. Say if one is working at a large company, and as long as the company provides proof of employment, that should be adequate. But if we consider it inadequate, we will contact the applicant, and the applicant has the responsibility to provide adequate information for the scrutiny of the Immigration Department. As you said earlier, there are different circumstances surrounding each case. Some are working for companies, some have opened companies, and if they only opened a company before 1 month before applying, wouldn't it be right that we should ask more questions? But let me say this, we have been trolling for talents and enterprises. We will not do anything to sabotage our efforts to give an impression that we do not welcome these talents coming to Hong Kong. But we have all along been promoting integrity, and our system is based on integrity. We are not trying to make it difficult for talents. We just need the applicants to provide adequate information for our scrutiny. And let me say again, there is no need to engage the services of intermediaries. Say for students, they don't even know what the intermediaries did, right? So I think you shouldn't leave your fate to others for them to decide. Anything to add, LWB? Nothing?
Now, there are some comments that the immigration department is really hamstrung by manpower shortage, and many of them do not even receive any notification at the end of, even on the last day of the visa validity period. So will the administration ramp up the efficiency and follow up the cases more expeditiously? Mr. Chair, I'll have a word with the Immigration Department. Indeed, the Immigration Department is facing more workload, and the time spent on dealing with these visas would take up quite a lot of manpower. And during holidays, we do deploy a lot of manpower to the boundary control points. We are hamstrung by manpower shortage. But my understanding is that as long as they complete the application procedures before the validity period ends, then the burden will be on us to deal with these issues. So there will be, there should be more manpower, because the demand has increased by 6 or 10 or 8-fold. Any further questions? On next item, and any other business? I don't have any AOB items. Meeting is now adjourned. Thank you all very much.